Hello. Try number 4. Hey, Gypsy Girl, how we doing? Right at this point, right now, I'm just hoping we can get this live stream in. Unbelievable. So here we go for number 4. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, they keep cutting me. They don't. I guess they don't want me to talk about the breaking news tonight. I guess, huh? Oh my goodness, fun times. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a beer in a minute if this keeps up. I'm gonna have to trade in my green tea and grab me a cold one. So let's see how this one goes. Okay, so I'm gonna start all over again because when people start watching this, they're gonna watch. Hopefully, they're gonna watch the one that lasts the longest first. And so that way they know what the heck is going on. So once again, we're going to be talking about hope tonight in the live stream. And I also have some breaking news that I want to share with you guys that was actually given to me. That information was given to me by Mike from the Watchman News. So I think it's really important that we get it out there. So I'm going to share that information with you as well. And so before we start going, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. Please be kind. Please be decent to each other. Watch the language. No racism. If you don't, I have these awesome moderators that will boot you out of the chat because this, like I said, it's family-friendly, and I want to keep things clean, okay? So, again, once we're done talking, or once I'm done talking, then if you would, all cap lock so things stand out for me. So, FYI, the live chat is being disabled for some of us, having to root around and get it going. Okay, say I'm sorry, old as dirt, that they're doing that. It's been for whatever reason. This is, like I said, this is my 4th try trying to do this already. Okay, so we're going to talk about hope to begin with. Let's talk about hope. So, as I said, I've been out, like even in the grocery store today. I picked up Eddie, and trying to, we stopped at the grocery store, okay? Hey, Eddie, do not bring a cat in tonight, okay? Because we're having problems with the connection and stuff, and I don't want any kind of...
like cat in the camera?
Yeah, no cat in the camera tonight, okay, please? All right, thank you, Bob. So I just want to make sure. I don't want him coming in and banging something and have us go offline again. So anyway, so I picked up Eddie, and we went to the grocery store. And what I'm seeing a lot with people is a lot of despondency. A lot of people are upset. There's just that blank look on their face. There's no hope. People don't have that hope anymore. And without hope, what do we really have? Eddie, don't run, please, while I'm chatting. Thank you, hon. He runs to STEM. It's the way he gets energy off, so he runs back and forth. But so anyway, people just don't have. The will is not there, I think, for a lot of people anymore, which is absolutely sad, to be honest with you. Because without hope, what do we have? If you don't have hope that you could achieve something or reach a goal or follow a dream that you have, what do you have? You have nothing. There's not going to be a number 5. Let's hope not, Julie. Well, so far we're almost 4 minutes into this one, and we're good to go so far. I did move around my connections to see if maybe that's going to make a difference. So hopefully that does too. We will see. Maybe the cat is the answer, right? Right now, I actually, after this second one screwed up, I took Max and I put him outside because he was on the bed. So I'm trying to not have anything jiggle, not have anything move, and so we'll see how it all goes. But anyway, like I said, with no hope, it's what makes life go? What do you have? Hope for relationship, hope for all kinds of different stuff. Those are important. People need to have hope. Hope that they can better their lives. In whatever way. Get a new driver's license fast. LOL. Yeah, right. Yeah, there's and this thing is definitely wonky tonight. I could see it, like the pictures kind of messing up here and there. We need things to look forward to. Right, Bill Norwood, absolutely right. We definitely need things to look forward to. So anyway, what we're going to talk about, we're going to jump into this breaking news real quick, and then we'll go back to talking about more hope afterwards. So I got my little thing here that I wrote this information down. Okay, not sure if anybody knew this. Now this just happened. This was on the 3rd of this month. Okay, so obviously October 3rd, 2019. The Department of Defense issued an order, and it's was signed by Brigadier General Daniel L. Shipley. Now, anybody that's ex-military, especially Army, the 4 little generals, the way do you remember who your generals are? You have Be My Little General, so Brigadier, Major General, Be My, Lieutenant General, and then General of the Army. So that's how you figure out how, that's how we did it, Be My Little General. So a 1-star general signed this policy on October 3rd, 2019, which it's a rapid response. Okay, so what it is they can call up. This is calling up the Marines. All right, so this is a Navy put this out there. This was called up, and the order is it's an activation and deployment, or it's activation and deactivation, which is RC. It's reserve component. Okay, it's a Marine order to activate the Defense Support and Civil Authorities. The order was by the U.S. Navy. Now you guys can look this up too. I'm going to put this. It's marines.mil. So it's marines.mil. If you want to see this order for yourself, because a lot of times people say, "Well, Eddie, get Max off my bed and outside, please." Okay. Quick. I don't want him messing up. Yeah, just put him right out. Thank you. I know he's not going to be happy, but put him right outside. Thank you, Bob. Sorry, guys. I just don't want this getting messed up again. All right. So.
Yeah, you see that, and watch as it messes up again.
Well, let's hope it doesn't. So what we got here, the military forces are called up to protect civil authorities in response to a major disaster or emergency. Okay. So basically so first of all, my question would be, now from what I understand, the other branches of the military also received the same order. Now, they maybe not the same day, but all branches have received this order for emergency call-up of troops within the United States. So my first thing would be, what do they know that we don't know? Is there going to be some kind of major disaster that's going to happen, or some kind of huge civil unrest that's going to happen? This is very concerning that they would do something like this, because this is talking about U.S. troops on U.S. territory, in the United States, being called up to be used against the people for any kind of unrest type of situation. I think that's hugely concerning, and it's definitely very, very interesting. So I want to thank Mike for getting that information to me. That's from the Watchman News. So if you guys actually want to go over there and check out his channel, he's got that Marine Reserves called up to active duty to assist with civil disobedience. The USS has the same orders, or Army, Air Force has it, and Air Force bases are on high alert. Well, that's way concerning. What's going on? I have heard rumors. Now, these can't be confirmed. I have heard rumors of a possibility coup, where overthrowing the president. I've heard those rumors as well. But that can't be confirmed. I've also heard another rumor that also cannot be confirmed. So I'm not trying to say this is what's going on. I'm going to share information with you guys. You can take it for what it's worth. But I heard there's about 1 million UN troops in the United States right now that would be called up to be used as well. Now, that I cannot confirm, but that's the rumor that's going around. So I wanted to share it with you. I wanted to put it out there so that you guys can, do your research. Try to find out, if you can, anything about that. But it's Pelosi wants to get impeachment vote and all done by Thanksgiving. Never going to happen, Sandy. Hey, Mountain Girl. Hope is the only thing stronger than fear. Oh, that's a great comment, and thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. And she's right. Fear is a very powerful motivator, but hope is a very, if people think about this, when people are being persecuted and, for religious reasons or whatever, if they don't have that hope, okay, what do they have? They got nothing. So there's a lot of it that goes into that, and a lot of hope is definitely religious based for a lot of people, which is nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Army Reserve, Naval Reserve, Marine Corps Reserve, and the Air Force Reserves ordered to active duty to provide assistance in response to major disaster or emergency. Yep, thank you. Okay, thanks, Living. Hold on a second. Let me just get that back so that I can see exactly who said that. Living Sweetly Journey. Thank you very much for that information. So, forced gun confiscation? ? Wisconsin prepper. I don't think so. I don't think that that's what the emergency would be. If they enacted martial law, like I said, we've talked about that before. It would be very, very difficult to make that work in the long run. To be honest with you, very, very difficult to make that work. There's a lot to be concerned about. If they're doing those kind of orders, calling up those kind of orders. Lucy's over here choking to death. If they're calling up those kind of, for the reserves in case, I love that it's always in case, civil unrest or some kind of a natural disaster. Do they know something that's going to happen? Have they known something that's going to happen? What could that natural disaster be? Earthquake, super volcano? Could it be, an asteroid heading for the Earth? I mean, you just don't know. I mean, there's so many different things. Tsunami. Think about that. Could you imagine like that? There's a thing in Africa right now. There's a volcano, and there's a huge crack in this thing where it's just enormous, and eventually it will slide into the ocean. I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when that does, it is going to cause a tsunami on the East Coast, like they've never seen before. And that in itself would be disastrous. I mean, think about the loss of life alone with something like that. You wouldn't have enough time for everybody to get out. Big question, does the call-up have the okay from the commander-in-chief? You know what? That is a very good question. I don't know. Hey, Mark Choi, stock up on water and food now while it's cheap. You know what? Very good advice. Very, very good advice. Absolutely. Everybody should be stocking up as much as they possibly can be. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I definitely would appreciate it. So we got like 450 people in the chat and only 73 thumbs up. I know we had, this is our fourth try at this, and so far so good. We're like 13 minutes in. So hopefully this one's going to work. So I'm going to try to make sure nothing moves on this bed so that everything stays fine. But, yeah, there's GI Bill and corporate change date of 12th of July of 2018. I don't know what that was. Our military oath is not the UN. I'm not worried. Yeah, no, you know what? I think the military guys are all going to basically, they're going to go with their hearts, especially within the United States, because everybody's got family. Everybody's got family somewhere, and family is all spread out. And I think that if there was something going on, all branches issued a survey to the military personnel if they would upon a fire bomb, civilian population if unrest takes place. Oh, that's not good. JJ just said that. I know what you meant, fire upon. Yeah, that's that would be bad. And hopefully they wouldn't. I would imagine hopefully they wouldn't. Oh, Stace, now you're going to start in. How about them Cowboys? Yes, I know. You know what, guys? I don't care if the Cowboys were 0-16. I am a Cowboy fan, always have been a Cowboy fan, always will be. So they got it handed to them today. They did. You can't turn the ball over 3 times. You just can't do it. So 3 interceptions killed him. Elliott only had, 12 carries, and he had 62 yards on 12 carries. Could you imagine if they were able to grind it out and actually, he was picking up yardage, but they had to throw all the time because they were so far behind. The nature of the beast, it's how it goes. But the Giants lost today too, so I was happy about that. I hate the Giants. So, hey, how about the Bills though, huh? They actually went down to Tennessee and beat Tennessee, so good for them. My kid is named Dallas. Yes, I was talked into it. Oh, that's funny, Danny. I like that. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So, but yeah, I would be concerned with what's going on. Like I said, my biggest thing is what do they know that we don't know? What are they anticipating? Is there going to be some kind of, like I said, could there be a coup where they try to overthrow the president? Who knows? Who knows? It's very, very difficult to say. Like I said, could be a natural disaster that they know that's coming. The New Madrid fault line, it could be that. And so, you just don't know. But, realize this, if there is some kind of major natural disaster that happens in the central part of the country, that happens on the West Coast, or that happens on the East Coast, it does affect everybody in the country. Maybe not directly for the moment, but if the central United States, if the fault line went again there, think about all the trucks that travel constantly every day across this country. They wouldn't be able to for quite a while, or they would have to reroute, and it would just be a nightmare. Think about the different cities that would be decimated. Okay, very, very bad. And and everybody talks about the West Coast, and what do they know that they aren't telling us? That's a great question, Mountain Girl. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. What do they know? There's something going on that they know about, that they're trying to quietly do things. They're trying to, they've been putting stuff underground for a long, long time. We all know that. So, and that's not for you or me. Remember that too. That's not for you or me. That's for the power elite and the important people. We are not part of the power elite or the important people, so I wanted to share something also that I saw today that I thought was absolutely awesome. This guy's a YouTuber. He's got like 3.8 million subscribers, and he's making serious bank. I mean, serious bank. These couple million a year is what the guy's making, according to the estimates, which is probably means he's making more than that. But he just put up a video where he was going around, and he was knocking on people's doors, and I'm trying to remember what his name was. Oh, my goodness, I can't think of it. But anyway, he was knocking on people's doors and asking them what their rent was, or their mortgage, what was their mortgage payment, or what was their rent. And so what he did was, the people would say, well, my rent's, XYZ amount, and he would pay their rent for that month. He was just giving them the cash to pay their rent, and he was doing it on video. And I'm going to tell you what, like I said, and I've talked about this, and I don't know, if anybody knows me enough to know, if I ever got huge, I'm giving back. I'm going to give back to small channels and help people that are going off grid and trying to make a go of it. I would absolutely do that. I would go to their homesteads, and that's epic. Yeah, that is epic. Yep, thank you very much for exactly. See that? I knew somebody would know who I was talking about. That is epic. Is the name of the guy's channel. If you get a chance, go check that out, because I'm going to tell you what, it was really, really heartwarming, very, very touching, and it was awesome to see somebody that, is in a position to be able to give back and actually doing it. So that was really, really cool. There's a good, Emmanuel just said bank collapse. That could be. We know that the banks are in rough shape right now, so if there was, like I said, and we talked about this the other day, that would be something that would be very, very concerning. And if the banks went down, guys, what happens then? So that's something to definitely be paying attention to. So I'm going to tell you what, when I tell you guys, and I've been saying it for a while, prep. Continue to get ready, put things away, buy more food. And I have been doing the same thing myself. I'll be honest with you. Anybody that knows me, like I said, I talk the talk, I walk the walk. I just don't tell you what you should do. I do it myself. So I think it's really, really important. Yeah, it's much worse. I know the banks are in much worse shape right now. Dubai closed all the banks today. Ooh, Linda just said that. Linda Smith. Yeah, don't be shocked, guys. Don't be shocked if something like that happens. And then what are you going to do then? Realistically, what are you going to do then? So it's some scary stuff going on, and definitely be paying attention to stuff, really, because what they might end up doing is they might limit how much you can take out a day. They might do something like that. I wish freeze-dried food was more affordable. I hear you, Wisconsin Prepper One. I do. You know what? I get it. I do. It's not cheap. It's really not cheap, but it's definitely a good thing to have. It's a good supplement to have. I mean, you just having the variety is huge. It's huge having that variety. So actually, while you're on that subject, I'm gonna mention it because they're still doing the sale. Today is the 6th. The sale is today is the 6th. Yes. The sale's going on until the 8th. Legacy Foods is doing a sale, so I actually have it on my website as well at preppernurse1.com. The 183 meal bucket sample pack is normally $360. Right now, it's $228. So great time to take advantage of it. It's 40% off the regular price. So it's definitely, if you've thought about pulling the trigger on getting some freeze-dried food, that's the time to do it. I could never match that sale on my own. So just letting you guys know that. So, but just so you know, that's available. So go check that out on my website if you are interested. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You look at what's going on over in Europe. With the UK, with the Brits, however they say it. And the issues they're having with that. The people in charge don't want to be out of it, but the people do. So they've held it up even longer, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. There comes a breaking point. So, like when I was talking earlier, in my video earlier, and I was talking about the 2% tax on tea being like the straw that broke the camel's back, okay? There was a lot that led up to that. Obviously, there was tax upon tax upon tax, and that increase in the tea tax was the final straw for people. And but I'm telling you, it's like you look at the price of stuff. Look at the price of milk. How much milk has gone up recently, okay? You could get milk for like a $1.59 a gallon. I don't think you can get it for less than $2.59 a gallon now. So that's a tremendous increase in the cost of just that one thing alone. I'm telling you guys, if you can get that opportunity to get stuff, and I don't, if you want to get the freeze-dried food, I absolutely would encourage you to do so. But I'm also going to encourage you to get out there and get those canned goods. Get out there and get those freeze-dried, or not, I mean your soups and your beans and your rice and those other things as well. Because I'm telling you what, I think bad times are coming, and they're coming soon. And I think we need to be ready for that. It's a scary world, and I don't do doom and gloom, guys. I'm not going to say this is going to happen this time period. I am never going to ever do that. But just from the things that are going on, it's very, very frightening, and it's scary. So again, I'm a big proponent of prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Again, back to our hope thing, right? We got to hope that things are going to work out. But why would you just do that and not do something proactively when you have that ability to do so? So that's really important as well. Yeah, honey's another great one to have. Absolutely great one to have. Guys, if you haven't shot me that thumbs up yet, I see we're up to almost 600 people in the chat, and we're at 175 thumbs up. So if you could shoot me that thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's see. Clean water. Clean water is going to definitely be the key. Clean water is definitely going to be the key. If you have a way to purify water, make water good, do that. Get that squared away, because it's just, like I said, I'm going to be doing a video. I got a video coming up for you guys, 10 ways to purify water. So look for that. I might do that tomorrow. So definitely look for that. Actually, I should write that down. I should remind myself. Let me do that real quick. I want to just remind myself to do that video for you guys tomorrow. All right, so now I got it written down. Because I'm going to tell you what, as you get older, if you don't write stuff down, 9 other things pop into your head and it's gone. So, is there hope for small towns? I think small towns, you have a lot more hope in a small town. I'm going to tell you what, the scariest places to be in an emergency situation, civil unrest, or those type of situations are your big cities. That is going to be the scariest places to be. Small towns, those are good places to be, guys. Really, really good places to be, because it's a better situation. When you're out farther out, small towns, and when I say small towns, I'm talking under 5,000 people or better. The smaller towns, everybody knows everybody, and so you know who the players are, you know who's not, And I think you're going to see more people willing to work together that way. So, is there hope for city folks? Kyle King, I really don't think so. In a worst case, now I'm going to go with a worst case scenario. In a worst case scenario, city people are screwed. You are screwed, and I'm not trying to. Well, I don't sugarcoat. So, but you would have a really tough chance of survival in a city, because I'm telling you what would happen. Your gangs and those type of people would band together in their groups. They would rape, pillage, and burn. If they thought anybody had any kind of supplies, they're going to hit the warehouses and get all those type of foods and stuff like that first. And then they're going to go building to building, and they're going to literally rape, pillage, and burn, because that's what they'll do when there's no rule of law. And so, if you think you're just going to hunker into your apartment, you're going to be fine, you might find yourself burned out. So, that would be a horrible way to die. You'd probably die of smoke inhalation before you died of the fire itself. But again, if you can get out of the cities, guys, and I've said it before, do it. Get out of the cities. It is not the place to be. And I realize a lot of people have to work in the cities. That's where they got to go for work. But it's just, it's not the ideal situation. So if you can make that move, and even if you just get out of the city itself and just get into suburbia, you're going to give yourself that much more of an advantage. In suburbia, you're not safe there either, because you still have to worry. Even suburbs are bad. Kevin H. just said, was talking. But again, suburbia is not a safe place to be either. I lived in suburbia. I've lived there, okay? I lived in suburbia for 8 years in one place, and I was in the city before that. And in suburbia, I talked to a couple different neighbors. I would basically be on waving, like my initial neighbors on the left side. It was basically, hey, how you doing? And pretty much that was it. They never invited us over for coffee. We never got that friendly with them. They had their own family. They kept to themselves. And, that was their choice, obviously. But you figure you'd live next to somebody for 8 years that, it would be different. But it's just not there. It's just not. Once you get out to the country, it's a whole different mindset, guys. And I've talked about it over and over and over again. And, so it's definitely being out farther is definitely the place you want to be if you can be. If you can do it, do it. Cities will end up being war zones. Yeah, they will absolutely be war zones. You look, guys, go and look at the history of what happened over in Kosovo and those type of places over, when they were having the wars and stuff over there in the cities. Look how it was. Watch the video. People trying to get from one area to the other, and there's snipers out there just shooting people at random. Insanity. And, and then think about food, trying to get food. How are you going to get food? So it's just, that's a scary situation. Very, very scary situation. So, if you can do it, your neighbors will rat you out in a hot second. Gypsy girl. Yeah, they will. If people think that it's going to give them an advantage, or they're going to get something out of it, people will rat on you in a heartbeat. So, that's what you need to think about, guys. In that situation, if people are, and you can't, and it sounds terrible, but in a way you can't blame them. If you're starving and your kids are starving and you haven't prepared, and Joe Smith down the road has food and stuff like that, so you go to the local authorities and you say, hey, listen, I know this guy's hoarding food and stuff like that. Could you cut me in on some if you take him out? And they will, because they're going to use that food for themselves is what they're going to do. But they wouldn't mind giving some of it to somebody that was the rat, But that's going to happen. I mean, people have no idea. I mean, we have gotten way too comfortable, way too complacent in this country. People have no idea how bad it can be. You talk to anybody that's come over here from the Ukraine, from all those areas that were having all that unrest, and there's been wars going on in Serbia and all that area there. Talk to those people. Some of those people are here now. Talk to them. Find out. They'll tell you the truth, man. They will tell you the truth. I'm not blowing smoke up your guys' butts. I never will. That's just not my style, and you know that. But there is shoot the red after he tells on them. Well, that could be the case too, but that doesn't mean that all your stuff is now gone. Yeah. Richard Ruckman just said you could not pay me to live in the city. No offense. I don't blame you, guys. I've lived in the cities. I've lived farther out in the country than I am now. I've lived in suburbia. You can keep the city. You can keep it because it's just that in the city, the tension and the hatred and the way people treat each other it's awful. And it wears on you. You know what I mean? You got like this, we all have our own area, okay, if you will, and you can just feel it trying to get into you. And it's horrible. That negativity trying to get at you all the time. I'm going to tell you what, anybody that's watched my videos for any length of time, and I've had people tell me, since I've moved out here, they can tell I'm happier, I'm more calm, I'm more at peace, and I really, truly am. I mean, being out here, it's a blessing. It's an absolute blessing. And I love when people say, oh, you're hiding in the woods, up in the hills. That's absolutely not it at all. I wanted peace. I wanted to be able to do what I wanted to do, live my life, be as free as I possibly can be in the system that we're in. And so that's what it's been about for me. It's that freedom, as much freedom as I possibly can have. And, I'm going to tell you what, the very best decision that I've made in a very, very long time was moving out here full time. And so, we just started our 5th year full time in June. And, it's just, in each year, things get a little bit better. They get a little bit better every year. I mean, so today, I collected 6 eggs today, 3 adult eggs and 3 of the pullet eggs, which are the juvenile eggs. And so, now I have that source of protein on a daily basis. And, and what do I do with a lot of my eggs? I share them. I give them away. I have my chickens because I love having the chickens. I wanted to have chickens again for a long time. I had them as a kid, and I missed it, and it's awesome. And so, that's what it's all about, And so, and in that emergency situation, I have a meat source and I have a protein source with those eggs all the time on a daily basis. So that's a win-win, So, and I'm going to tell you what, there is nothing like that egg from the chickens. Nothing, with the farm fresh type eggs. I'm not talking the processed mill stuff that you get at Wegmans or Walmart or Tops or wherever else you're going to shop. Those nice brown eggs, and I got one chicken that lays like a greenish blue egg, But those eggs are so much better. There's just something about it. The taste is different. But I have happy chickens, so yeah. You know what? I am very lucky, and I will admit it. I will absolutely admit it 100%. I am very, very blessed. I'm very, very happy to be where I'm at. It's made a huge difference in my life, and it's made my life a lot better, a lot more. I'm going to tell you what, the way I was going before I decided to when I got into prepping and was making the decisions of what I wanted to do and what I needed to do for my own life and my family, I was headed for a heart attack or a stroke. Absolutely, without a doubt. I probably would have had one by now. Absolutely. Because I just was working all the time, stressed out to the max and trying to make ends meet. And it was a nightmare. And so, you have to make choices. What's going to be better for you? Some people will do it, some won't. Yeah, thank you, Gypsy Girl. She says, glad you're healthy now. Still a little too fat, but we're working on that. We're working on that. But, it's just I'm in a better mindset, too. And that really, really makes a difference. They store up to eggs up to 18 months in cold. Oh, you can store eggs a long, long time. You can, if I wanted to store eggs, if you take mineral oil to eggs, put mineral oil, dip them in mineral oil. You never wash the eggs first, okay? And so then you dip them in that mineral oil. You can keep them in, a cool place. You don't even have to refrigerate them, and they'll last 6 months or longer, easy that way. But I look at it like this: if it's a way of giving back, okay? So I give eggs to my neighbors. There's a young lady next door with her son, and then there's Richard and his wife. I've given them eggs. I've sent eggs back with my mom for my sister and stuff like that as well. I give Greg and Chris eggs, So to me, it's just it's paying it back. It's just if I can help people out that way, I'm going to do it. I have more than enough eggs for myself. Whatever I want. If I want to take a dozen eggs and hard boil up a dozen eggs, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so. That's just the way I feel. Giving back is important. I really think it's really, really important to do that if you can. And, and watching out for people that aren't as fortunate as you are. And I've been very, very fortunate. Yeah, pay it forward. Exactly, Bill Norwood said. And that's part of it. I can do it on a small scale with eggs right now. I'm telling you right now, guys, if my channel ever gets huge, I'm going to pay it back like you would not believe to other preppers. You have no idea what I plan on doing if I ever get to that point. I really do. So actually, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notifications. I post every day. I do my live stream 3 days a week, so I'm always on here. And so I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I love doing this. I love trying to help people if I can. And trying to help people wake up to help themselves. That's the biggest thing, guys. My goal is to help you to help yourself. Wake yourself up. Realize we're in a dire situation and that you need to take care of yourself and your family. That's the most important thing. Let's see. If you're going to bug in, make sure you can fortify your location from intruders. That's important, but there's always fire. There's always fire. So people could burn you out if they had to. So that's something you need to really, really think about, because that would be a worst case type of scenario that you get burned out. And that would not go well. That would not go well for anybody. So, guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, I see we're up over 600 people in the chat, which is awesome. If you could shoot me that thumbs up, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate that. And thank you ahead of time. So, in a long-term situations, villages will need to exist. Absolutely, Gypsy Girl. We've talked about that many, many times. You are not going to survive what's coming if you think you're going to do it alone. You need a group. That village takes a village to raise a child. You ever heard that saying? Okay. It's really important. Again, and I've talked about this, and I'm going to say it again. Make yourself valuable for after an SHTF event. So how do you do that? Learn a skill. That's an old skill. Learn how to make shoes. You can be the cobbler. Think about how many people are going to be out there making old style shoes. There's not going to be a whole lot of them, okay? Work with leather. Learn how to work with wet leather. And so, learn blacksmithing skills. How many blacksmiths are out there? Not a whole lot of blacksmiths out there, guys. So there is a lot of people that are going to be extremely, extremely valuable after an event that, we really need to, to think about. So, we're going to need people. So I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, that's why I'm a big believer in when I tell, and I've told people in my group, I said, there will be people in our group that we never expected to be in a group. Absolutely. I truly believe that 100%, because somebody's going to come in and they're going to have a skill set that's going to be valuable, and they have not prepped at all. They've done nothing. But they have a skill that's going to be very, very valuable. You know how valuable a dentist is going to be after an SHTF situation, guys? A skilled dentist that knows what he's doing? Huge. And the bartering that dentist can do alone, He could have everybody doing everything for him, and all he's going to do is fix teeth. Now, you may not think that's a big deal, but if you've ever had a toothache, or if you've ever had an infection or an abscess in one of your teeth, boy, I'll tell you what, you appreciate that dentist then. You really, really do. So Wolfang says, I'm a welder. That's going to be a great skill to have. Absolutely a great skill to have. I'm still keeping your offer as a backup. That's cool, Maverick. That's very cool. And there's nothing wrong with that. We, like I said, guys, we're going to need to connect. We're going to need to be able to connect with each other. And so if we can do that, that's going to be, that's going to be something important. Think about, okay, again, your plumber, your electrician, your carpenter. How valuable are they going to be after an SHTF situation? So here I am, and people said to me, where are you going to put everybody? Where is everybody going to stay after an SHTF event? Well, there's going to be a lot of building going on. You're going to have to be building things for people to live in, which takes nails and screws and everything else, okay? So, again, those are things that are going to be worth their weight in gold after an event. So I try to stock up on that stuff as much as I can. When old nails, I try to keep and save old nails. Like Greg, when we did the chicken coop, you have no idea how many nails that we took and that were pulled out from something else, and we straightened them back out with a hammer, and then we used them again for the chicken coop. Recycling stuff is going to be huge. So firemen and construction workers will be gold too. Absolutely. That's a couple more important things. There's so many things, guys, and people don't think about it. They really, truly don't. They don't think about it. So, but buy DIY books, medical plant books, home remedies. Absolutely, James White. Get as many books as you can. You may not have the time to read them now, but after an SHTF event, you're going to have time. You're going to be amazed at how much time you have to do things after SHTF happens. And a lot of it's going to be spent on daily survival, hunting, gathering, making sure that you have something to eat, all those type of things. The older ones watch the babies and tend to the chickens and garden and educate. Exactly. Everybody's going to have a place, guys. Your older folks have a lot of knowledge that they can pass on that all of a sudden a lot of young people are going to be really interested in hearing. It's amazing. So again, when we talk about that village is going to be a integral part of what makes the future go. Because again, an event is going to happen at some point. Okay, once that event happens, and depending on the severity or how bad that event is, at some point that event will be over. So what happens then? Does the government come in and save the day and rescue the day? No, they're not going to, okay? There will be somebody that's going to try to set up a new government. Trust me on that. But I think you're going to see a lot of people are going to congregate back to that village mentality and that small town mentality, and they're going to work for their own good for that group of people. Maybe trading with other towns. Somebody else may have something that's of value that they can trade from that other town. I think you're going to see those type of things. But I don't think you're going to see people real apt and jacked up on having a government come back in again after this last fiasco. Hey, Dragon 1075, love what you're doing. Thanks for all the helpful ideas. Oops, hold on a second. I got to go back. I didn't read all that. Helpful ideas and thoughts. Hopefully, we'll meet soon. Yeah, thank you very much, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that donation. Like I said, I'm always open to meet people, guys. I really am. I try to make myself available. I don't always get back to emails right away. I'm going to be honest. I'm terrible with that. It's the truth. So, if you feel slighted that I haven't emailed you back, if you knew how many emails I got in a day, you would be shocked, okay? I do try to get back to people, though. I really do try. If I get a chance, I'll sit down at some point and I'll go through emails. But, I'm not the best at that. I'm going to be honest with you. So there's always a lot. There's always something to do. There's always something going on. So federalism won't happen. We won't let it. You know what? And I agree with you. I think people, like I said, when this thing happens, this event happens, you're going to see people trying to work together. I think that's going to be important. Like I said, I think it's really, really important. You're going to see small towns wall up and say, we're not letting no strangers or outsiders in, because you are going to have a lot of people that are going to be walking around like the Walking Dead but they're going to be alive, looking for help, looking for somebody to save them. If you guys have read the book 1 Second After, it was really, really interesting. They had these people coming through, and they were letting most of them go through, but they were interviewing people as they were coming in. What skills do you have? What do you bring to the table? And if they had a skill set that was going to help the town that he was in, they let those people stay. So think about that. If you are a valuable person and make yourself a valuable person, that's important. Have those skills. That's just, I think it's really, really important that we need to do that. Really do. Barter big style lighters, sometimes 10 for $1 at the dollar store. I bought 200. Yeah, if you can get the Bic lighters are good. Yeah, and they're a great barter item. That would be a great barter item. Who doesn't want to be able to start a fire to keep warm? So, absolutely. Again, those different types of things. As stupid as this is, cotton balls. Okay, there's 100 cotton balls that I picked up at the dollar store. That's it, $100 or 100 cotton balls for $1. So a penny a cotton ball. Okay. You know how valuable stuff like this is going to be? Because then I'm going to take this cotton ball and I'm going to take this Vaseline, okay, and I'm going to swab this cotton ball in that Vaseline. What do I got? I got an excellent fire starter. And it's a great way to start a fire, don't matter how wet it is, anything like that. That works great for starting fires. I've used it in the middle of winter on wet wood, and it worked. So it just, having those little things like that, So I was just at the dollar store, excuse me, I think last week, and I only bought 2, So, but that's what you do. GPS will still work. Put gammon in a Faraday cage. I don't know what you mean by that, James White. GPS might not work it depends on what the event would be, but thank you so much for that donation. I do appreciate that. It really would depend on what the event would be, for GPS to be working. Power might be out altogether. That could be, there is no system support. Yeah, I think you're going to, let's see. Germine is a GPS system. Oh, okay. All right, James. All right. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it would depend on the situation. We may not have any kind of cell service. Communications might be down altogether. So again, if you want to control the people, what do? You control stuff. So if you can control the information going out there, if you can control, like I said, if the phone's cut off and the internet cuts off, I would be nervous. I would be very nervous at that point because you just never know. GPS is all satellite based. Will work until the satellites fall down. James said, "Okay. Well, if we have power, if there's no power, then they can't. Well, they still might be working, but there's no way people would be able to use them. Unfortunately, at that point." Let's see. Yeah, 1 Second After by William Forsythe. That's the book being reviewed. Yep, it is a great book, and I know he's written some other ones after that, and I haven't read the other ones yet. But somebody had given me that book as a gift. 1 Second After, very, very insightful. A lot of very good information. That it wasn't fantasy stuff. It was reality stuff. In reading that, it gives you a really big perspective of how things could go, and so yeah, it was definitely an eye opener reading that book. So, a compass will be GPS. Yeah, having a compass is going to be a good thing. Yeah, if you can't reload your brass, your guns are no good. You're right. And I've talked about that before. If you have weapons, make sure you got plenty of ammo, because when that time comes, guys, you're going to have what you have, and that's going to be a big thing. You're not going to have a lot of choices, at that point. And once you're out of ammunition, all you have is a club. So having alternate means, crossbows, slingshots, those type of things, really not a bad idea to have those as well if you can. So I think that's important too. All right, guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, I see we're at like 342. Let's see if we can hit 400 again. We hit 400 on Friday, so that was pretty cool. Let's see if we can beat that number tonight. I think we hit like 450, I think is what we ended up hitting on Friday, something like that. So if you haven't shot me that thumbs up yet, I would definitely appreciate that. Learn to use a compass. Yeah, that's important. It is important. Learn to read a map. Think about that, how that skill is gone. People don't even think about maps anymore. They still sell them. They still sell them, and I think they're really important to have. So, I think we really need to pay attention to that. Okay, it's almost 9 o'clock, but I'm going to still go on here, guys. I've only been on because we had the problems in the beginning. So we're like 50 minutes into the chat. I'm going to go past 9 o'clock, just so you know, even though we had the screw-ups, I'm not going to count that. So, I'm just letting you know we're definitely going to go past 9 o'clock here. How far past, we'll see. So, but stay longer, Gypsy Girl. I'm going to be on. I'll stay on for a little while yet. I'll stay on for like till at least quarter after. How does that sound? So, to at least quarter after, we're going to stay on here if this doesn't screw up on us. So, hopefully it doesn't. So, learn how to read a compass, a map, the sun, the stars for navigation at night. Start practicing. Very good advice. Very, very good advice. The stars are awesome, guys. When you don't have all that background light and you can see the stars and you can see everything. I was actually out last night. It was really, really clear last night. It was really beautiful to see everything. So that's another thing, too. Know your constellations. Know what time of year or where they're going to be at, because they're always moving. They don't just stay in at one spot all the time. They're always moving. So that's something to pay attention to as well. Let's see. Somebody just said fish penicillin. Yeah, Phyllis Pine, Pynn. Yeah, it's fish mox is a good thing, real good thing to have. If you can get it. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will just say that I have it in my supplies, and I absolutely will use it if that time comes, if it's necessary to need an antibiotic. I personally will use it. I'm not telling you what to do, but I would definitely recommend getting it. Millions of people would be lost without the internet when it finally goes down. JJ just said that again. And JJ's on a roll tonight. He's making some great points. Yeah, and you're right. People will absolutely be lost, especially this younger generation that grew up on the internet, like my kids. My kids have never known not having the internet. So, they have no idea. They absolutely have no idea. So, they're so used to just flip on, look up what they want to look up, and then they're good to go. So, but yeah, Janine, we'll get to We Are Legion. Well, we can do that now, but we're going to still keep going for a while. But so yeah, we might as well do that since we got like 600 people in the chat. We Are Legion, guys. There's many of us out here. There's so many of us, preppers and off-gridders. People have no idea what a difference we can truly make when the time comes. And so we got to see where everybody's from tonight, because we're a big family. So we got Indiana. So if you put your Sodus, Michigan, Syracuse, East Syracuse, Central Florida, Australia, Western Massachusetts, BC, Canada, Ohio, Michigan, Arkansas, the UK, Texas, New York, Long Island, Nashville, Tennessee, Georgia, Spokane, Washington, Wisconsin, Northern Texas, Michigan, New Zealand again. Let's see. Chile, New York. Okay, I know exactly where that is. Let's see. England, West Virginia, Nebraska, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Very cool. Ohio, California. Very nice. Bakersfield, California. North Dakota. Nice. Minnesota, Kentucky, Northern Florida, Israel. That's cool. That's a freaking ways away. Long Island, New York. Buffalo, New York. Very nice. Illinois, Alaska, Bradenton, Florida. Jackson, Michigan. North Carolina, Southwest Ontario, New Hampshire, Mississippi, Albany, New York, Hutto, Texas, Central Indiana. Let's see, Mississippi, Wisconsin, Texas, Northern California, Rhode Island, very nice. South Carolina, New Jersey, Virginia, upstate New York, Phoenix, Spain, Asheville, North Carolina, beautiful area. Missouri, North Korea. Yeah, sure you are. You're just putting it in there so I would read it. New Jersey, Oregon, Southern Arizona, Minnesota, Indianapolis, upstate New York again, Indiana, Bellevue, Ohio, Kentucky. So a lot of all over the place, guys, all over the country, all over the world. We are the people that are awake. We really are. And we're the people that can make a difference when that time comes. And I don't think a lot of people realize truly what a difference we can make when that time does come. So, you know, it's all about positive mental attitude. And like I said, we have to have hope. If we didn't have hope, think about this, guys. If we didn't have hope, why would we do anything that we're doing? You know, I have so many people say, oh, well, if things went bad, it wouldn't be worth living, and I would just give up. No, you wouldn't. You may say you'll give up, but you won't, because the will to live is so strong in us. It is unbelievably strong and so powerful that we will fight for our last breath to survive. That's what we do. Now, will there be people that give up? Of course there will. Okay, those are your weak-minded people that can't handle it. You're going to have people that are going to give up because they can't handle the new reality of what the world has become. And then that's when the cream rises to the crop. You're strong-minded, determined individuals, stubborn, mule-headed. Those are the people that are going to survive, because that's the way we are. You know, and I'll be honest with you, I'm stubborn as the day is long. My friends will tell you, once I get something in my head, that's it. I mean, I get locked in, and that is it. So, you know, but that's not a bad thing. But again, we just, you know what, determined people will survive what's coming. There'll be bad people that survive too, guys. A lot of the bad people have that mindset. Hey, Ace Lindsay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that donation. But I'm a redhead, so you know how that goes. Yeah. A ginger. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I got to tell you guys a funny story real quick. So there used to be a Tops in Greece before it closed. And we used to go to the service counter all the time. And there was a kid that worked at the service counter. And he was a ginger, okay? Pasty white skin with the red hair. And I'm talking like, you know, Ronald McDonald red hair. And so, you know, when I first met him, you know, I try to ease into stuff because I don't want to, like, people get, you know, I have a weird sense of humor. So I would say to him, I said to him the first go, I said, can I ask you a question? He goes, sure. I go, people ever bust your chops about being a ginger because of the whole South Park thing? And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, he goes, I always took it in good-heartedness. But he was a big dude, too. I mean, he was solid. He wasn't no punk. So, you know, he could hold his own. But he had a good – but so anyway, so from that point on, whenever I would come in there, you know, we would always bust chops back and forth. So I would buy lottery tickets. And I would say to him, I go, man, I said, you know, I'm really disappointed in you. You know, you're not letting me win this lotto. I keep buying these tickets from you, and you're just not letting me win. And he would go, yeah, well, that's because I have no soul. And oh my God, die laughing, you know, and just, but it was just, we would go back and forth all the time. And it was just, he was a good kid. And it was funny, you know. I mean, that's the thing, is if you can't joke and have fun with stuff, I mean, life has got to really suck for people that don't have any kind of sense of humor at all. Really has to. So, but you know, it's, you got to enjoy life, guys. It is so important to enjoy life. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. They get so focused on something, and they can't let anything else into their life. And that's not good either. There has to be, and I call it a healthy balance. Okay. Prepping is very important. Don't get me wrong. Being ready is very, very important. But you also have to take out that time to smell the roses. For me, obviously, a big part for me to escape is riding my motorcycle. I absolutely love to ride. So if I need to decompress, if I need to just not think, I jump on that bike because I'm focused on my ride. I'm looking around. I'm paying attention to my ride. And it's very relaxing for me, even though you're paying attention, if that makes any sense. But it's very, very enjoyable, and it's a great way to decompress. That works for me. Find what works for you. Make sure you're taking that time to decompress. I don't care if it's painting, doing artwork, you know, just going for hikes, whatever works for you. Find what works for you, and make sure, even though you're focused on prepping and working and family and every other obligation that we have as adults, take some time for yourself. It's really important. We need that. We really, truly do. Don't forget about Daywalkers. That's right. That's right. You have Daywalkers. That's awesome. Yeah, South Park was so much fun, guys. I'll tell you what, so inappropriate, but so awesome. So awesome. And it was like they offended everybody. And that's what I loved about it. They didn't care. They just offended everybody. You guys are mean to gingers. No, it's good-hearted fun. Daywalkers. That's so funny. But yeah, there's some funny, and then oh my God, okay, so there was a kid that was on the internet, and so he was being harassed at school about being a ginger and not having a soul and all that type of stuff. Well, he was kind of slow. You could tell he was kind of slow, a little bit heavy, and he went freaking nuts on YouTube, and then just because he did, people just continued to make more fun of him, which was sad, obviously. But he just, oh my God, he took it so personal, and that part was sad. But it was very funny to watch, though. And then like the comments, what people were writing, and oh my God, and this kid kept making more videos, and it was just hysterical. I mean, terrible but hysterical, at the same, if that makes any sense as well. I have a twisted sense of humor, though. I do. So what I find funny a lot of times, a lot of other people do not find funny. So anyway, that's what happens. But what do we got here? You set for the winter with wood, all pile and cut. Oh yeah, Red Fox 1. I had all my wood ready in June. My wood was ready in June. I may still. Just might. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not yet. I may end up buying 3 or 4 more face cord just to have way more than I need and burn that first. And then that way, the best part about living where I do, if I don't use it this year, I'll use it next year. So I may still buy 3 or 4 more face cord just to be over the top with wood. But I definitely have enough wood to get me through the winter. Have had it. And what else I have to do enough now is all the twigs from the branches that I had cut down from the trees that I put like in a row. I just got to go break them up and that's kindling wood. And so I'm going to definitely be doing that. And that'll be happening here fairly soon. I'm going to get out there now that I got the 4-wheeler and I can put the tractor or the trailer on behind it. And I'll just drive that over and we can just load that whole trailer up. And that'll be an awesome way to do it. So, Prairie Land Living said, "I'm so outspoken, people hate me. Sure is quiet at my house." Yeah, I have a tendency to be outspoken too. Like I said, guys, I say it like it is. If you like it, great. If you don't, then there's a million other YouTube channels to go watch. And that's kind of my thought with that. If you don't like what somebody's doing or you don't agree with their thought. And here's the thing is we're never all going to always agree. We're not ever all going to agree. But if we can, reach a compromise and try to work together, that's great. And I'm all about compromise. But I do have a tendency to be opinionated and outspoken. And I have my opinion like everybody else does. So have you ever made briquettes? No, I haven't. I haven't made charcoal. No, I'm going to say it that way because I can't say that for some reason for tonight. Yeah, most people do not like being confronted with logic. Yeah, that is for sure. And I'm going to tell you what, most people don't like being called on their BS either. I have always been the type of person, if I had an issue, be it at work or whatever, with anyone, or I'm hearing stuff through the grapevine, I'm the type of person, I go directly to that person, not in a confrontational way, to try to squash it. You're working together, you got to work together, you try to keep the peace if you can. Some people are just going to hate you because they hate you. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. But I am definitely in your face. Did you say this? Did you not? Let's get it worked out. So I remind him of a pirate. Yeah. I've had the earrings long time. I've had the earrings. I started out with just the one in my left ear back in the 80s when if you had your left ear pierced, you were straight. If you had your right ear pierced, you were gay. That's how it was back then. And then I put the second one in because I wanted the diamond on top. So then down the road, I'm like, you know what, screw it. And I went and I pierced both of my other ears because I wanted hoops in the bottom and diamonds in the top. So, and again, if you want to call me gay because I wear earrings, say it to my face. That's all. That's all I'll say. Because you're safe in mommy's basement on YouTube. You can say whatever you want and there's no ramifications. So, but that's what I do. And, you know, you look at now with all the people got all kinds of stuff in their face. I mean, they got eyebrows pierced. They have their cheeks pierced. Their lips, their nose, their tongue. All kinds of people have all kinds of stuff pierced. So, you know, never knew you had earrings. Oh, sometimes I wear them, sometimes I don't. Just all depends. I actually had to go out and get new hoops because I lost one of my hoops. So I've been wearing the one hoop, but not obviously both. So I went out and actually got new hoops. I've been looking forever and a day. I got to tell you this story. So I went to Walmart. I went to Kohl's. I went, different places looking to try to get the right size because I didn't want like great big hoops. So nobody had them. So I went back to the kiosk at Grease Ridge Mall where I bought my original hoop earrings at, and I got new hoops there. So that's how I did it. So yeah, it's nuts. None of that matters. You do you, and I do me. Simple. Exactly. Whatever, if you want to do something and it works for you, great. You know what? There's no judgment on my part. I don't care what anybody does. Knock yourself out, I mean, it's like, you guys have seen some of the strange stuff that's out there in the world today. There's some strange stuff out there that people are doing. But, between two consenting adults is their own business. That's the way I look at it. What are we at here, guys? We are actually at quarter after already. Wow, that went fast. All right, guys, last request for thumbs up. If you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, let's see if we can get this up to 450. We're at 415 for the thumbs up. So if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, I would definitely appreciate that. Again, guys, remember, who knows what's going to happen? We need to be ready to act when the time comes, not react. That's important to remember as well. So that's way, way important. Don't react, act. Have your game plans. Be ready. Have with your kids, your families, everybody needs to be on the same page and know what they need to do, know where they need to go, and what's expected when they get there. Okay, that's important too. Never know what's going to happen, so that's really, really important. Rally points, exactly. Bill Norwood just said. That's just keep eye and ears open, pay attention, up and alert level. Yeah, exactly, Kevin H. Be ready, guys, because when it jumps off, I really truly believe when it jumps off, it's going to go quick, and we're going to be like, what just happened, and why did that happen like that? So that's I think that's what you're going to see happening. So anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. So where are we at? 440. Oh, come on, we can do 10 more thumbs up. If you haven't done it, please do it so we can get it 450. But anyway, remember, guys, we are really all in this together. That's important. Nobody's in this alone. Lone wolves are not going to make it when the time comes. So we really, truly are all in this together. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day because tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. That's important as well. Life is so short and it's so precious. Make sure you tell those people that you care about. And, telling somebody you love don't necessarily have to be family. It can be friends too. So just let them know that you're there for them and you care for them. Because sometimes people just need that. That's all they need is somebody to be like, listen, I'm here for you. So that's important too. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you. Nobody else can stop you. So stay positive, guys. Stay away from that negativity. Just be ready for whatever, okay? I will talk to you all tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great night. Mom's coming back tomorrow, too, just so you guys know. So look for her back here again, and we're going to start working on the shop some more. So I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.